Kutchins, Adler, the Buttery Babe, and today we're making an easy 3-ingredient appetizer that you can throw in the oven, get yourself a glass of wine, and enjoy your guests. It is literally 3 ingredients. We have a beautiful bowl of sourdough bread, a piece of Brie. This one is about 13 ounces, but you can do a pound, you can do 12 ounces, 8 ounces, whatever a small wheel near you is, and a jar of fig jam. I'm very lucky this one my mother-in-law made, and it's got lemon and walnuts in it, but if you just have regular fig jam, that works perfect too. If you've got a strawberry jam, throw in some nuts or leave them out. Or if you want to make it extra special, you can use my leftover cranberry sauce that we learned how to make earlier in the year. So preheat your oven to 375, and I'm going to show you how it's all going to come together. As I said, we've got a lovely round bread, and we're going to turn it into a basket for our bread. So I'm sure you've been to the cafes and gotten that soup in a bread bowl. Well, that's the concept, but we're gonna one-up it, and instead of soup, we're having delicious, creamy, fatty brie. So I took that on one piece, and then I'm just gonna take here in my very clean hands and pull out the rest. So you wanna leave a nice border so that the cheese doesn't come out, but you're mostly just pulling it out. The extra bread you can save and grind it down into breadcrumbs or munch on it. This bread we're going to cut up and use it with crostinis to dip. See how I made a nice little bowl? Perfect. And that's just going to go into the pie dish. If you don't have a pie dish, put it on a sheet pan. You can put it in a little pot. Either way, just sit right there for a second. While we have this bread here, we're going to cut it in half. And then we're going to cut it into slices for crostini. You can see this one has a really nice crust to it. So we're just going to cut it up into chunks for crostinis. I know they got a little bit squished. Don't worry about it. They will be just fine and toasty. I also have some other bread already cut up that we're going to toast at the same time that the brie in the bread bowl is baking. So we'll just add the bread top that we just cut up to our other sliced bread. The other bread's a little bit darker because I usually make my bread with whole wheat, but I wanted a fluffier bread also. Everybody likes to be friends. That way we've got some healthy, some less than healthy. But who am I kidding? We're dunking it into brie. So here's my little pile of breadcrumbs. Crostinis. Crostinis are going to get a little bit of seasoning because everything in life should taste good. So we're just going to do a quick drizzle of olive oil. As you know, I like to keep my olive oil in my squeezy jar so I can do whatever I want. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then a pinch of kosher salt. Everything is better with salt. And of course, the pepper mill, because what would the Buttery Babe be without her pepper mill? A few grinds, just to make those crostinis taste a little bit better. And they're going to go in the oven the same time that our brie bread bowl is. So we can just take that pan and put it to the side and forget about for a few minutes. Then we have our brie. And as I said, this one's about 13 ounces. The brie is a beautiful, bloomy, washed rind cheese. That means that after they make the cheese in its form, they wash the rind, which helps this beautiful fluffy mold grow. The rind is completely edible. It is delicious. It's a little bit stronger in flavor than the middle, but we want to leave it on to give extra flavor. You see this brie is nice and ripe. You see how it's getting a little bit creamy and delicious. So we're just going to turn it and continue cutting it in chunks. They don't have to be perfect because they're going to melt, but we do want to keep them similar size so that they melt evenly. See, it's a little bit sticky. That means it's just going to be that much tastier. So let's get our mise en place ready. We've got our brie. We have our beautiful bread bowl, and then we have our fig jam. So we just need a spoon, and we're going to take that fig jam, and this is a 1-cup jar. We're going to take about 1/3 of that and squish it at the bottom of the bread bowl. And again, it doesn't have to be even. Everything's gonna get melty and delicious and buttery and yum yum. And then we're gonna put in about half of our Bries. My mother-in-law, she lives in South Carolina, and she's got 5 fig trees in her garden, and she makes this fig jam every year. And one year, the bunny and I sent her some lavender buds in a spice box for a Mother's Day present. She didn't know what to do with it. The bunny always puts it in cocktails. Shocking, I know, he drinks something. But she started putting it in the fig jam, and it really just made it crazy delicious. So now we're going to take another third or so, it's not precise, it's appetizers, of our jam, and spread that in. As I said, if you don't like fig or you don't have any, strawberry is great, apricot would be really good. This has little pieces of walnuts in it. If you don't like nuts, don't do them. If you're doing a jam that doesn't have nuts in it, just throw in a handful of chopped walnuts or pecans or almonds, just to add a little bit of depth and crunch to this creamy goodness. And then that last third of jam is going to go right on the top. Just spread it around. You can even use a piece of Brie to get all in there. Yum, yum, yum. Little sprinkle of our pepper from the pepper mill, and then this is going to go in the oven. As I said, our oven is preheated to 375. We're going to put our bread bowl filled with Brie and conserve and our crostinis into the oven, and they'll take about 20 minutes. We'll be back in a flash. Well, the Buttery Babe is back, and it's been 20 minutes. So let's check on that delicious Brie in a bread bowl. Oh, I've left the puppies here to check as well. Oh, it looks fantastic. You see how the Brie got all, let me close the oven. The Brie got all melty and gooey, and the jam is so squishy and warm. So we're just gonna take a delicious crostini and our trusty jam knife. Look, let me show you even better. I'm gonna hold this up. Look at that. Ooh, look at that. How hungry are you? And we're just going to take our crostini, spread that on. Remember, the skin is good. And take a bite. I'm Emily Kutchins Adler, the Buttery Babe, and thanks for watching Baked Brie in a Bread Bowl.